Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, please make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _. We're able to be a little more explicit, a little more uncensored, and share content freely without running the risk of having our channel terminated. So, once again, make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _. We're almost at 100,000 subscribers. So if you like this video, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. Now let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, the modern day William O'Neal himself, aka Trenches News, seemed to have finally embraced his actions as far as cooperating with the feds in FBG Duck's case against Oblock. After months of denying the claims, twisting and turning the narrative, he would finally show out in court as he testified today and also took off his mask to reveal who he really was to the jurors. Reports say that he also went as far as cracking jokes during his testimony, and the headline of the Chicago Sun-Times would quote Martell Wiley, aka Trenches News, as he would say, quote, "I'm Michael Jordan on YouTube." Now, I don't know if Trenches really just embraced the fact that he made his bed and now he has to lay in it, or the joking around and game playing in court is just a defense mechanism to make it seem like he's unbothered by what people think about him when deep down inside, he really is bothered. However it goes, this is why I'm always telling people that glorify this drill lifestyle based on what they see on TV to leave the streets alone and go get you some money. We're living in a time where making money online is a thing, and you're open up to plenty of opportunities, especially if you're young. If you're banking on a street lifestyle based on what your favorite rapper is telling you, you're going to lose every time. Trenches News is a prime example of how the streets are these days and shows you how even the cooperators are willing to shoot you, then tell on you, and still able to kill you all in the same breath. So you got no wins because if you do something, then he's also liable to tell on you as well. So to save the headache, just leave the streets alone. Now it looks like Trenches News went in that courtroom and had himself a ball. As news reports would say, he took off his mask as he testified. He was cursing as he would speak on the connections with both the victim FBG Duck and the suspects involved from the Oblock neighborhood as well. And it's funny because as soon as I read this, I automatically got a vision of Trenches News in court, pretty much looking like he's doing yet another YouTube video he's uploading, but only this time, the guests in this video are actually with him in person and he's in a whole different scenery. Now, sidebar, I don't know whose job it was to draw that picture of Assistant U.S. Attorney Jason Julian questioning Trenches News, but I guess they decided to make Trenches look like Dr. Martin Luther King because that drawing looks nothing like Trenches News. That man ought to be fired, man. But during Trenches News testimony, he would pretty much admit everything that has already came out about him to be true, also highlighting that he did, in fact, reach out to law enforcement first, a day after FBG Duck was shot and killed. Trenches would claim that he only did it because he knew Duck's brother Brick, who was also shot and killed, as well as Duck, who he describes as being one of the coolest, smoothest dudes. Trenches would explain that that's who he was in court for out of everybody, and also admitted to jurors that he was once part of the Black Disciples and moved to Oblock at a young age. He will also admit that he would switch sides after falling out with one of the Oblock members and being shot in the process. Trenches admitted that he was once staying in Parkway Gardens and would increase the credibility for law enforcement and jurors to believe that he has great intel on these Oblock members, so more than likely anything he's speaking on around that time, he must know. Now the jokes would come in after Trenches would tell the courts that he uses his YouTube channel with over 100,000 subscribers as a way to make fun of gang members and encourage kids not to join them as well. He also stated that he's trying to make the city a better place and that is no money in the streets anymore, just broke, starving gangbangers, and would say, quote, "They need to get on YouTube." Now, it's not much to speak about aside from the stuff we already confirmed to y'all in the last video about Trenches News getting paid to cooperate up to $25,000 and identify certain suspects that was involved in FBG Duck's demise. Aside from all that, on Monday, December 4th, 2023, Trenches is expected to be cross-examined. Judge Martha Pacole would tell Trenches that technically he will remain on the stand until then and warn him not to discuss the case anywhere else outside of the courtroom. Trenches would tell the judge, quote, "I won't go on YouTube, I promise." And he said it with a smirk. Now, I know the guys from Oblock who actually got to sit there and watch Trenches News make fun of them are fuming. It's like when you was little and you was getting in trouble by your mother and your cousin or somebody was in the back of her making all type of faces and mocking her. You can't laugh or nothing because you get in trouble. Yeah, it's one of those situations, man. I know at least I'll be fuming. And he's not only telling, but to think that he was once embraced by these guys and trusted, and now the same man that knows what he knows is now taking the stand because he was friends with the same person y'all unalived. I don't know about y'all, but that gotta be crazy. Not to mention, but as he's talking, I'm sure it's so much them guys want to say, but they can't. But watching this man laugh and crack jokes as if your life ain't on the line, that must be a crazy, crazy feeling. However, this should be a prime example of why you should just leave the streets alone altogether, because right now ain't nothing in them. Right? And you know, it's crazy because somebody brought up a good topic. I forgot the YouTube channel. I think it was I Smoke Hip Hop or something like that. Shout out to them. But they wasn't the first ones, but I seen them do a video on it and it kind of reminded me. They said, what if Trenches News allegedly was getting people backdoored for money? And that's an interesting topic because now you got to think about it. If he was willing to throw it all away or testify with the feds and he was only receiving $25,000, who or what else he was willing to give up? Because at that point, he really has no loyalty. Y'all got to remember, the only reason why he left Oblock, according to him, is because he got into it with one member. You know, at that time, he was full on BD. You know? So who did he really have loyalty to? Because it's not like he was kicked out and no, he got into it with one guy and left and that was it. But he still has strong ties to people like Kenny Mack. You know, and I'm sure he probably has strong ties with other people that we may not know about. We might find out, we might not, who knows? But it's just something to think about because at the end of the day, if you're willing to give it all up for $25,000 with the feds, what type of deals were you cutting that nobody know about? You know, so it gets crazy, man. So I guess by Monday, we'll have another update for you guys. We'll have more in store about Trenches News. At this time, man, Trenches will be cross-examined on Monday. And judging from how everything went on the stand today, it should be interesting to see how he reacts to everything on Monday. Now, that's the time where I think we will find out more of what, you know, Trenches told them that he knows. You know, they're going to ask him questions. This is where they ask you things like, remember when you said this and remember when you pointed X, Y, and Z out? You know, they might show photos, surveillance photos, who knows? But I know that they said that he identified some of the suspects. So they're going to definitely bring that up. And maybe they'll bring up the surveillance. Maybe they show us some of the surveillance. Maybe they show us pictures of what all went down. Who knows? But like I said, it's going to be interesting to see what Trenches have to say and the questions that they asked him, being that they said he was a long-time government informant for decades. So that means he has a decade's worth of information for them that they're probably going to ask him. So let's see how that plays out. But y'all stay tuned, man. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'm going to keep on dropping. And I'm out.